doubling down saying, hey, don't blame me, blame the president for promoting violence. Well, whoever the blame is, there's sure to be some major implications in this midterm elections. And I want to bring in our panel to discuss. Noel Nickpour, Republican strategist and fundraiser, and Beverly Hallberg, District Media Group president. Beverly, you know, the thing that's amazing is that over the weekend, going back to Friday through Sunday, you had Nielsen, Bondi, and Sanders, three high-profile women who are doing extraordinary jobs, you know, that I think if they were Democrats or progressives, they would be on the cover of magazines and lauded, and Marie Claire and all these other things. And, you know, and instead, no one even stands up for them. No one's taken up for them. And I think the public is watching this very closely, and I think they may react to it in the midterms.
Even the women's movement, I feel like there's always a double standard. They only defend women who agree with them on progressive policies. But even more so than that, when you look at the tactics that are being used, and by the way, this was a comment by Maxine Waters, who's also a female, against females in this situation. It doesn't work. I thought it was very fascinating that David Axelrod, of course, who worked for President Obama on his campaigns, came out on Twitter today and said that he disagreed with this tactic by Maxine Waters, and that if people really want to change policies or change things, you get out there and volunteer, you donate, you vote, but you don't do this. And his point was, and I agree with this, it's actually counterproductive. All this does is make people who are Trump supporters or Republican or conservative dig in their heels even more against the progressive platform. So not only is this dangerous because it incites violence, but it actually doesn't get Democrats anywhere either.
Yeah, that same tweet, though, one of them at least had a backhanded compliment or a criticism of Trump, though, saying when Democrats do this, they actually are doing what he wants them to do. I guess the incivility. Noel, what's interesting is throughout all of this, President Trump's numbers keep edging higher and higher and higher. And we're talking about a variety of different polls from Gallup to CBS, YouGov, that suggests, you know, with the crisis, even the immigration crisis, now this. And you have to wonder what the general public is paying attention to, because I don't think the mainstream media, you know, despite their narrative, is getting that message. They're not changing the minds of regular people.
No, you're right. And another number you can look at is the fundraising record highs with the RNC versus the DNC. And you would think there would be such an outrage if you look at mainstream media and their narrative is, you know, Trump is so horrible and he's ruining the country. Wouldn't you think people would be giving $20 here and there just, you know, for the betterment of, you know, mankind or whatever the MSM is trying to, you know, to spin here. But, you know, you're right. I feel like that the numbers keep going up for Trump, and I feel like there are a lot of people that are for Trump, a lot of his base that feel like he is standing up to the establishment. Don't they coalesce
around him even more? I mean, listen, you know a lot of these people we're talking about personally.
Yep.
I admire the way Sarah Sanders has handled all of this. I really do. I'm in awe of her. I guess being a New Yorker, you know, they handle things a little bit differently whenever people keep getting in your face like that. They even chased her across the street to the other restaurant.
Yeah.
So
wasn't enough.
You know, yeah. I mean, what do you make? Because these are women trying to do their jobs, and they've been sort of targeted.
You said that before, you know, before the break, before we came on air, and I thought that was a fabulous point, the fact that these are women. And most of these, you know, Sanders, Bondi, Nielsen, these are women. And this is supposed to be, you know, right now in this era, you know, of Me Too and whatnot, you know, this is supposed to be pro-woman. Look at what Wolf did at the Correspondents' Dinner when she humiliated Sanders, and she sat there with a nice, you know, demeanor, just kind of shaking her head, didn't say anything, didn't act anything. And you've got her now just on vacation trying to eat somewhere, and they're running her out. This is also, you know, a good example of what the left represents. When you think of the left, you think of the peace sign, you think of brotherly love, you think of, you know, come one, come all, kumbaya, and look at the message they're setting forth.
All right, ladies, thank you both very much.